Hi, this is Chris Schroeder. Welcome back to the ACCO Legislative Update. We're going to do things a little bit different this week. This week we have Bill Case in, who is ACCO's Legislative Liaison. Bill and I have been with ACCO and working for county commissioners about the same amount of time. It's going on about probably 10, 11 years now. So we're glad to bring him today in to touch on some policy issues and budget issues. We'll start like we usually do, touching on a few bills maybe at the Capitol that had some action this week. And Bill, what was going on out there this week?
Well, this week they were basically winding things down. Legislature's coming to a close. We had a few bills left for the counties to finish up. Some of those bills went to the governor. Some of those bills were signed by the governor. So very, very good year for county policy bills. Most of our bills are done, Chris, for the year. And we're just waiting on the legislature to finalize their talks on the budget. And like I say, they're winding down and wrapping up. I feel like we have about 2.5 to 3 weeks left. And the legislature may be going home early this year.
Hey, nobody ever argue with that. Ending session a little early. This week, ACCO had the opportunity to sit down with the Senate Rule Caucus at a breakfast on Tuesday morning. Bill, maybe explain to the county officials what the Rule Caucus is and why ACCO has kind of traditionally done that every year.
Will do. Yes, we try each year to do a outreach to the Rural Caucus members at the Capitol. The Senate has a Rural Caucus and the House has a Rural Caucus. This is a makeup of legislators across the state of Oklahoma, and it touches county lives. So we try to make a point to meet with them, Chris. And this week we met with a Senate caucus, had a nice group show up. We had breakfast with them, and we discussed county legislation. And it was kind of an informal type of a setting, which is good. Everybody's comfortable. And the conversation turned to the history of county funding, road funding, and it was really interesting how the conversation moved that way, and we engaged also about the county highway funding and the SERB plan, and so it worked out very well this week, Chris, with the Senate.
Yeah, I thought it was good, and Randy Robinson did a good job. He's kind of the numbers guru around here, but he did a good job of researching a lot of the county history funding. Also, a lot of the public might have seen legislators this week posting their new maybe legislative districts or proposed legislative districts. As everyone knows, we're in the redistricting process this year every 10 years with the new census. So Bill, maybe touch how that process works and what we can expect moving forward.
Yes, the redistricting process is legislators that sit down and they draw new maps. Every 10 years, there's a census, and so the legislature sits down, they draw new lines, trying to figure out the proper amount of population based on the census, and they finished that up this week, Chris. They moved the bills through committee, and they passed committee, so now we're going to move those bills to the floor next week, and the Senate and the House will be voting on finalizing their mapping. Along with that, the new districts, the county commissioners will be doing their mapping here soon, sometime this fall. They'll get that finished up, and quite frankly, because of the delay of COVID and the census delays, it looks like the legislature is going to call a special session in September of this year to finish up the redistricting with the congressional legislators. So this is going to be going on for a little bit longer, but the House and Senate will be finished up next week, I think.
Good. As we close down here, I know you touched on the budget a little bit earlier, but for maybe some people out there that don't know how that budget process works and maybe the timelines, maybe explain what to expect as May comes around here.
Well, The budget's always tough. The governor always comes out in February with his initial thoughts on the budget, and he presents that to the legislature. But the lawmakers, they write the budget. So they're finishing that up, Chris. I believe this week, I think they made a lot of agreements with the two House and the Senate have agreed. And I think that we're going to see some bills start rolling out next week. The budget process, as it relates to the counties, it's very important to us because we get approximately about $400 million in state dollars. So we care very much about the budget writers and what goes on with that. So the talks are confidential. But we have learned that looks like a very positive outlook for us this year with our road funding. So we're crossing our fingers. I don't have the details yet, but maybe next week we'll get some further hints. So I would think they'll wrap up the budget talks and start rolling bills out next week, Chris.
Well, good. Well, Bill, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for being our, boots on the ground, pounding the pavement every day at the Capitol. A lot of the success of our bills this year, whether it's salary or purchase orders, it's because Bill's out there working the legislators and those committee members. So we appreciate what he does for us.
Chris, I want to add one more point. Next week, we're going to meet with the House Rural Caucus. Just so you know, I didn't know if you remember that or not.
That's right.
But next week, we're going to meet with the House Rural Caucus and visit with them. And that typically is a large group, about 40 legislators. So we're going to continue to discuss county government and various topics, and that should be good. So with that, thank you so much for letting me join you guys today. This is my first run at this, and Chris is kind of the star of the ALU. But thank you again for the invitation, Chris.
Absolutely. Remember, we have our breakfast every Wednesday. We've been having a good turnout legislators this year, usually 15 to 20 or so every breakfast. So if you're in town on a Wednesday, invite your legislator, come join us. That's all we have this week. Thanks for watching the ACCO Legislative Update.